What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. It is still kind of, sort of international week. So, we're going to talk about England's last game versus Australia. We're going to talk about England's game coming up against Italy. We're going to talk about the games for this weekend with the Premier League, the matchups. Who's your team playing? Who's got a chance to, you know, continue winning or continue losing? And we're going to talk about also, I forgot Lee, Sheikh Hassim, the is officially out of his him trying to purchase Manchester United. So Manchester United has managed to lose during international break when no games are being played. So we figured out a way how to do that, and now Sir Jim Ratcliffe is supposedly supposed to buy 25% of the team, which I kind of want to talk about too. So we'll talk about that as much as we know, because it's the information is kind of blurry. So we're gonna have to like sift through the murk of it and see what's up. And then we'll
Mm.
see what Southampton is doing this week in the championship. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun. And hope you all are doing good. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, but we want to send y'all some love. And what's up, Lee? How's it going, fam?
Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah, just international break is always, I mean, it's football, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not the same. It's like eating a meal that you don't really want to eat. It's like, yeah, I'll eat it. I'm hungry, but you know, the food I really want is next weekend. Um, so yeah, looking forward to getting back into the real stuff.
Why though? Like, I get it. Like, I get annoyed by the international break, but I am excited to see England play. And like the other day, Netherlands played, I think France. I was like, I want to see that. I want to play to that. And America played Germany. I'm like, I want to play to that. I checked out that game. Like, there's some international matchups that I really want to see when a country has all its players together in their full power. I want to see what all those people can do together. So I get it, but not as much as like most British football fans who are like just major fans of their teams. Like, I'm a little different. Like, I'm not as mad as y'all are.
Yeah, it's like I said, I don't mind watching international games. I just don't really feel anything. Um, it's just a bit like, this is all right. But
So where are you on the scale of like rooting for England? Like, where are you at?
I care about England, but it doesn't feel the same as club football. Like I would take Southampton winning shit over England winning shit every day of the
Or
week. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
damn, you like if England won a major tournament, you wouldn't feel like a big like boost from it. You would no,
I'd feel something, but not as much as if Southampton won something.
damn,
Um, like club over country for me all day.
damn.
Like I said, I'm not actively rooting against England. I'd love it if England could win a Euros or win a World Cup, but if someone said you get the choice of one, Southampton or England, it'd be Southampton.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a United fan. We've won some shit, and I just never seen England win anything. So I'd love to see England win something. And because in my mind, the way I've been introduced to United, even though we haven't won on a consistent basis recently, I always believe we'll win something, at least something at some point.
Yeah.
Like we even this is our bad time, we still win something here and there. I'll get to the
Mm.
final of something. But all my life, I've never seen England win anything. So I at least I just saw Manchester United win something. And then if we come third and get in Champions League, it's almost like that unspoken trophy because it's just so
Yeah.
important. So it just depends on who you are and who you root
Mm.
for, and also
It's just
where
this
you.
is just your way of saying that my team is unsuccessful. I get
I mean, it is unsuccessful, but it's not my
it.
fault. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to your owners. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But yeah,
I think I'm also just worried that if England ever do win anything, that the whole country will just fall to pieces. It was bad enough when
if
we
they do,
almost won something in the Euros the other year.
uh,
Like people were just going crazy in the streets. There were people climbing lampposts. There were people putting fireworks in their asses. There was full scale madness, and that was without winning anything.
that was our. I mean, we need to win, and then those people do that, and then we weed those people out of society, and then it's a clean slate society of sane people because all the insane people got rid of themselves by doing crazy shit. So you might want to win. There's gonna be some carnage, but
A
after
natural
that,
selection as well.
yeah. People who can't handle winning, poor winners. So yeah, I want to see England win some shit. And speaking of winning some shit, we just played Australia. So what did you just call that game before we got on?
I called it England reserves against Australia. We played the B team.
Hilarious.
That's what that was.
It was.
Um,
I liked if like I want to actually. So what's the word on how that game went in England? Like what they saying?
I think people were pretty happy to see other players given a chance because that's what people have been calling
Hmm.
for. Southgate gets accused of having his favourites. I mean, he still played Henderson, which I'm not overjoyed about. He got booed, which I fully agree with. I'm behind
Oh
that. I
yeah,
don't like booing players, but yeah, mainly for the Saudi Arabia stuff. But
for him
there
going
we go.
there.
Yeah, just the fact that he'd been such a vocal LGBTQ ally and then went there. That's what he's been criticised for. He'd
But
sort of
that's not.
always been.
It's so funny. The English media has made all Saudi Arabia is about is denying LGBTQ people
Mm.
rights. But Saudi Arabia
I
is
mean,
like
there's
is
also the
about
murdering
way more than
journalists
that.
and bombing Yemen as well. But
Yeah. But that's the thing. They're not even bringing up the Yemen thing.
Mm.
It's like so that to me, it's like that's an agenda. Like that's more prominent. Like that than like and I feel like the reason why I think it's more prominent because at least he stood up for LGBTQ community, and it doesn't mean because he's going there that he's turned his back on him. Like there's segments of like England who are against the LGBTQ community. It's just that the segments that are for it are louder, but it doesn't mean like England is like or any Western country is like completely pro. So it's just like
Yeah. Well, they don't like to mention the bombing Yemen here because it's the UK that are selling them all the weapons to do it.
uh,
So um,
so that's what I'm saying. That's why that's like, come on, y'all, come on. That's
um,
bananas.
but yeah, it was good to see players given a chance though because there's some players in there who I thought were really deserving, like Jarrod Bowen. He's had a great season with West Ham so far. Ollie Watkins was in there. Conor Gallagher's been in good form recently for Chelsea, so nice to see him in there. Tamori got a start. Dunk got a start. Colwill got a start. They switched the keeper up, put Sam Johnston from Palace in as well. I think I'd have rather seen Ramsdale, but
Yeah,
he,
why him
he
and
played
not
well.
Ramsdale? He
I
played
think because
well, but why him and not Ramsdale?
I think because he's been playing for his club every week, whereas Ramsdale hasn't now. So
So how come that applies for the goalkeepers, but not for Harry Maguire?
but not for Harry Maguire, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anything where Southgate gave that as his reason. I presume that's his reason.
That's what I
But
assume
yeah,
too.
I don't know. But no, I was pretty happy with watching that team. Like I say, I joke and call them the reserves, but there's a lot of players there that I think deserved a chance. And then there's players who came off the bench like Nketiah,
Mm-hmm.
Phillips as well. So yeah, there's like the usual lot of like Foden, Rashford, Stones, and that who came on too. Um, but no, I thought it was a fun game to watch. Um, Australia gave us a good game. You'd expect
Mm-hmm.
them with us not putting our strongest team out, and they had chances. Sam Johnson needed to do some stuff. The
Mhm.
defenders needed to defend, and if Australia were maybe a little bit more composed, a little bit more clinical, they could have got something in this game. But England are the ones who took the chance when it came, so we got the win. And yeah, Watkins was a real striker's goal, just sliding in
Mhm.
and getting that one. But yeah, it was nice to see other people given a chance.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game, and I thought like a reserve game. Yeah, you want him to start like people that we normally don't see play, but is this going to look messy? And I don't think it looked messy. I was entertained. I love what Bruce Bowen did with his like one shot at stardom. You know what I'm saying? Like he was aggressive. And he's getting that ball across, and he's uh, good 1-2s, and creating chances. And Bowen for West Ham is almost like a new signing every year because his
Hmm.
level of play like goes up every year.
Hmm.
Like he won them the Conference League, and then he's not resting on his laurels this season. He's played even better, and yeah, man, he looks like a. And then to come into the England squad and take that form in there, that's pretty impressive. So he's an underdog, man. So I root for him. Like I just naturally gravitate to what he's doing out there. Just like he's on some underdog shit. So good for
Yeah.
him. And I even thought Rashford was good when he came in. He's like
Hmm.
effective. He's like, I can dribble around Australians. If I can't dribble around Australians, then I shouldn't even be out here. So I like what he did. And it's funny to see Gallagher just making himself into something, like with like the doubt of his position as a Chelsea academy graduate, like the least on the totem pole, like before. There's so many players ahead of him, like Mount, and the list goes on. But he's the only
Hmm.
one to stay at Chelsea and to be like, all right, we're going to use you as a placeholder in this position. And then to start owning the position that now that Chelsea has bought those players, they're like, we still got to play Gallagher. He's he's figured this position out. And then Southgate's like, yeah, I got to use him too. And
Hmm.
I've seen games when he didn't fit in with the England team, and now he's treating the England team like it's Chelsea and making that position and playing with the confidence that he's now plays with at Chelsea. So I like that. So it's good to see Gallagher thrive. Another like underdog guy who I've seen like, out on loan. When your team rents you out because you're not their main person. Let's loan him out to these other teams. So it's like you're a journeyman, like amateur, and then
That's
you're like,
that's standard Chelsea behaviour, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. But then you never end up staying there. But he's like, that's why I'm like, the fact that he's still there and now he's a starter of all the people they let go, he's the one they kept. It's when they should do that documentary about him hanging on for dear life and staying at Chelsea and be the last academy graduate standing, the last Colwell standing, or whatever they call it. So that's impressive. I think it was a really good game. And like you said, Australia had created some good chances, and Brad Johnson had to do some things, make some saves, and he looked good. But yeah. And then Ollie Watkins scored, and I'm glad he scored because he messed up like two chances before that.
Hmm.
So I'm glad he did win, score the winner. And he said he took or stole Grealish's goal, but I looked at that. That goal wasn't going in. That was a shot that turned into a cross that he slid onto. So,
Hmm.
so good for him. And then we got Italy. What do you think of our chances of getting Italy? Because if we beat Italy, are we in? Are we in the
Uh,
Euros?
I think almost, because right now we've played five, Italy have played five, Ukraine have played six, and we're on 13 points, Italy on 10, Ukraine on 10.
Damn.
Um, so it's a clogged up group. but yeah, I think if we beat Italy, we're near enough there. I think actually we would be on head-to-head records. I think it goes to head-to-head because if we beat
Hmm.
Italy, we'd have beaten them twice. So they can only finish on the same points as us, and we've beaten them twice. So it would
Why
mean
is
we have
everybody
to
so
lose.
close? Why don't these teams leave us alone? Give us
I
some
mean,
breathing room.
bearing in mind after Italy, we've still got to play like Malta, I think, or someone.
Hmm.
Um, who else is in our group? I know it's not someone good. Um, who else
Yeah,
is
there's
in
a
that group?
huge drop off after
Yeah,
Ukraine
we
and
still we still got to
Italy.
play Malta again, and that's guaranteed 3 points right now because they've played six, lost six. So
We shouldn't
yeah,
even
but
have
I
to
mean,
play it. They should just give us the points. Come on, Malta.
I mean, I'm interested to see what's going on with this because Italy have got a little bit of a scandal going on right now
Oh
um,
yeah.
with some of their players. So obviously the Newcastle man Tonali,
Hmm.
he's out and he seems pretty implicated in it. And there's some other. I think is it Zanolo, the guy who's at Aston Villa,
Yeah.
is in there as well. And there's a defender Fagioli, I think, who's another one in there. And it's
Thank you.
yeah, it all seems.
Thank you, gambling. Thank you.
um, so yeah, it all seems a little bit murky. I don't know why modern like day millionaire football players, because like normally like when like yeah, I don't know, it's just there's no need for them to be placing these. I mean, it was stupid with Tony as well, although Tony did it like earlier in his career when he wasn't making as
Hmm.
much money. Um, Whereas these guys like Tonali's been at AC Milan and now he's at Newcastle. He's got that Saudi money, but I think it's from uh, in Italy. Um, but I mean, like Zanolo, who's former Roma player now at Villa, he was saying that he only played poker and blackjack online. I think it's because they have like an app.
Hmm.
Um, like they found that they downloaded a betting app. So um,
So you
yeah,
can't gamble at all, or you can't bet on football.
you can gamble, just not on football. But they're claiming Tonali has gambled on matches, but I don't know the details of what games. But yeah, they obviously they weren't kicked out the squad, but I think it was just sort of like, oh, it's probably best if you
Don't
take some
play.
time out right now and just sort this mess out.
That's
Um,
serious. They must. That's like more of an implication of like you are guilty when
yeah.
Italy's trying to qualify for a tournament, and before like any conviction, or is there even actual official charges?
I don't think so. But then I read a story today that said that there's potentially up to 40 players involved in it. Um,
Just give us the points then. Why are we even playing this?
take out the whole
Because
team. Yeah.
take out the whole team's gone. Like we got rid of our gambler, so it's only fair that I guess they get rid of theirs. Even Tony's not playing for England. Was there something about one of the players like getting like a yellow card on purpose or something like that?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that,
No.
but there was. I
Okay.
mean, there was that story going around about Lucas Paquetá, the Brazilian playing for West Ham
Oh,
before, who did that. But nothing seemed to come of that. So yeah, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously trouble for them if it does go any further. But it seems yeah a little bit up in the air at the moment. I don't know exactly what's happening, but they're not in the team, which I mean, I rate Tonali. I think he's a really good player. I don't think Zanolo probably would have started for Italy anyway, but Tonali probably could have.
right.
Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether it affects them at all. I mean, Italy's last game was against Malta, so you can't really read too much into that. They played them on Saturday, beat them 4-0.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, just looking at the players they've got, they've still got quality players in there. Donnarumma's still in there.
Hmm.
Locatelli, Barella, Berardi, all these guys are in there. So
I got
they got
Spanola.
Udogi. Yeah, they got Udogi from Spurs as well, who's
Oh yeah,
now
he's
playing
kicking on
well.
at
So
Spurs. Yeah.
yeah, they got Moise Kean as well, who's back at Juventus, I think now, isn't
What a weird career for that player,
he?
right?
Little
Because
little loan to Everton.
Yeah, but
Was it?
coming from like a major Italian team, then going to Everton, and then you think he's done, but then he goes to PSG, does good there.
Mm.
Like he scored too, but it's like, how are you a top journeyman besides the Everton? Like, how are you like a top tier journeyman? Like you're supposed to be established somewhere if you can play for all these top teams in the world. Like he was playing with PSG when they had names,
Yeah.
and he scored too. Like he'll make a cameo and get goals. So you can't be like, what a waste. There's
Yeah.
talent ain't there.
Just looking at his record, he got a goal every 2 games for PSG.
Right. And imagine so he thrived under the pressure of like, here's 5 minutes, what you got. And he did something. So it's weird for him to not have. So where is he now?
He's back at Juve.
Juve. Who's like Juve's like front?
They got Vlahovic, the Serbian. He's their main man.
Right.
So yeah, kind of behind him for the number 9 role.
Right. And so he's a great backup. That's good for him. Like less pressure, and he's been at Juve before. So
Mm.
yeah, I know he was young, but yeah, this kid's. It's interesting to see where he's going to go with the rest of his career.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah, it's crazy how young he still is. Like considering everywhere he's been, he's still only 23.
yeah, he's been more places at the end of his career, at the beginning of his career, than people are in the beginning. Even like his passport is stamped. Like, hey man, you need a new passport. All the pages are full. Like you've played everywhere. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hopefully he'll settle like into a team once.
Mm. But yeah, going
Uh,
back to the game, I think England will shade it. I don't think it'll be a convincing win. I think England will just take it at Wembley.
I want to see a convincing performance, and I'm sure everybody, all the fans do. I want to see like a full team with a convincing performance. That's what I want to see. Like Southgate already gave us some of what we wanted to see in the last game by playing the reserve team, like you said. But yeah, I want to see like Jude and everybody, and I want like them to style Italy off the park. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm.
want to see like a complete package of like what to expect in as far as force and style of play in the Euros. I want to see it tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or Wednesday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yes, that's what I want to see, Southgate. So I just, like if I was sitting on Santa Claus's lap and Tuesday was Christmas, I would be like, Santa, this is what I want. I want England to come out in full force and style Italy off the Wembley Park and score at least 3 goals.
Mm.
And Harry Maguire not to fuck up. Anybody you want to see play tomorrow?
Um, I'd quite like to see Foden start. I don't know if he will. I mean, he didn't play him in the game against. He didn't start him against Australia. He came off the bench, so
Mm-hmm.
I'd quite like to see Foden in there. I'll be interested to see who the midfield is because like Rice and Bellingham obviously both play if they're fit. It'd be interesting to see who he puts in there with them. Given that it's Italy, I suspect he might put Phillips in just because I think he likes Phillips. He likes him for the big games because he'll
Mm-hmm.
just be disciplined in there, and it means Rice can because Rice is a good ball winner, but also Rice does like to sort of drive forward at that midfield as well. So
Mm-hmm.
having Phillips in there gives him the license to do that, and I think having Rice and Phillips in there also gives Bellingham the license to go and play a bit more like he does for Real Madrid now. Um,
Right.
like really go and join in with that attack. So yeah, I'd be quite happy enough to see that. I don't, I think Phillips is winging it a little bit because he's not really playing many minutes for his club. But I think Southgate will go with him, and I won't be too mad to see that. The front line will be interesting. Obviously, Kane picks himself as the number 9, but then the
Mm-hmm.
wingers are the ones where I'm not really that sure. I think personally, I'd go with Rashford off the left and Foden on the right,
Hmm.
because they both like to cut in off those sides. So that would be my choice. But I mean, Southgate likes Grealish as well, so be interesting to see who he goes with. But my pick would be Kane in the middle, Rashford on the left, cutting inside, Foden on the right, cutting inside. Um, Centre backs will be an interesting one. I personally I would start Dunk because I think he's in form right now.
He is.
For Brighton, he's comfortable on the ball. He's a good leader as well. He's captain of his club. So I would have him in there over Maguire. But even then, I don't know who they're partnering with. Probably Stones. I say Stones and Dunk is a pretty solid combination. You
Right.
got one centre back who plays for De Zerbi, one who plays for Guardiola. So
Right.
when the ball's going to be coming out the back and into the midfield comfortably.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see exactly who he goes with there. Yeah, Pickford and goal. Cool.
Where's the Brighton defender? Why didn't he get picked? The Geordie that plays for not Brighton, the Geordie that plays for Newcastle and just
Dan
scored.
Burn.
Yeah, he's English. Like,
Yeah, he never gets picked. I don't know what it is. I mean, he's obviously performing well at the highest level right now.
hmm.
Um, must be something Southgate doesn't like about him. Because I would probably say he's more worthy of a place than say Guay. I like Guay.
Yeah,
I think Guay's a good player, but I think Burns doing more right now.
yeah.
He's definitely doing more than Maguire. um,
I think that's what Southgate doesn't like about him. Because if he picks him, he'd have to give up Maguire's spot, and that's what he doesn't like about him. That's the only thing I can
yeah.
find. I think also when we talk about Foden, the only reason, like, you know how everybody, a lot of people, I think even you feel like Foden should start for England. Like he never really gets a start. Like he'll get in the
Mhm.
game, but he won't get a start on the starting 11. But uh first of all, he must be frustrated. He's like, hey, I played more for my club than Maguire, and Maguire plays more for England than I do. That's number
Yeah.
one. But I also think Southgate is looking at him like, I'm gonna play him as much for me as Pep plays him for Pep. So if Foden starts starting on a regular basis for Man City, I think then Southgate will be like, all right, I'm starting him. But as long as he's a guy that comes off the bench for Pep, I think that's how Southgate decides to treat him. That's the only pattern that I see that's similar.
Yeah, like you say though, it's always hypocritical with Southgate though, because he will treat other players in a different way, like Phillips, for example, or Maguire. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird, but you know, I mean, we're not losing games right now, so people will bitch about the decisions, but then they can't bitch too hard because the results are there. If he picks favourites against Italy and we get spanked, then he'll be under pressure. But um, I think we'll be fine. I mean, there's a chance Italy could win the game. Obviously, there always is.
Yeah.
And Italy, they've shown in the past they're a kind of team who almost enjoys having some scandal going on, having their backs to the wall because that when they won the World Cup back
Mm-hmm.
in Germany 2006, I believe that was.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
they had the whole Calciopoli scandal going on with Juventus. That was when Juventus were getting like demoted down like two
Mm.
divisions or whatever it was and stuff. Match fixing scandals and stuff, and that brought out the best in them then. So who knows? Maybe they want this scandal to grow bigger.
Ah,
Maybe.
shit. Damn. Uh, and then who else has qualified already for the Euros? Like, I got like a mini list right here, but you could tell me if like I
Yeah,
left anybody off this list that
it's
I'm
like
looking at, or just tell me your list.
Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Portugal, Scotland, Spain, and Turkey are the ones I've got down.
Austria qualified, even though they just got beat this weekend. Ragnick,
Uh, yeah, they're in. Yeah,
Ragnick is through.
they beat Azerbaijan tonight to get through.
Oh shit! So Ralph
Uh, they,
Ragnick,
they,
disgraced, fired Man United coach, has got Austria into the the Euros. Good for you, Ragnar.
Yeah. These are like easier to get in now, the Euros, though, because they expanded it um,
Right.
for the last couple. And
So
it just means that that's why teams like Austria are now comfortably getting in and Scotland are getting in. Because it used to be just one team from the group, and now it's
mhm.
two. And previously, the second place team would have to go into the playoffs, but now it's the third place team. So, but I mean, yeah, those teams have still done well to get there. You know, they're there on merit. Like you say, Scotland did really well. I mean, they might still top that group. But yeah, Austria in there as well.
Yeah. Scotland got through, and I was listening to like Talk Sport, and it's like, yeah, well, they got like group teams like Cyprus and stuff in their group, but they also have Spain in their group, and they also have Norway in their group,
Mm,
and to qualify ahead of Norway and send Norway to Scotland route through the qualifiers or the playoffs, that's pretty dope of Scotland because Norway's got
yeah,
Haaland, like you're saying, or Odegaard, and some players from Brentford and like just Ericsson, right? No, that's not.
no, he's
That's
Denmark.
that's Denmark. My bad. Those white countries are all the same to me. They just the super white countries just blend in. But yeah, they got some good players on that team. I feel sorry for the teams that have to face Norway in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see because yeah, they got some other good players. There's a guy Antonio Nusa who's really sort of tearing it up right now. He's a young player who's coming through for them. And then they got some other players. They got like Sander Berger, who's played in this country for a couple of clubs um, as well. So they got El Yunusi, used to play for Southampton. Um, he's around too. He plays for Copenhagen now in Denmark, but he's Norwegian. So yeah, they got some interesting players, but I just think they've also got a lot of just average in their squad as well that can't quite rise up to the levels that
that
Haaland and
sounds
Odegaard
like
are at.
that sounds like Scotland. It's like you would put the average players on the level of like all the Scotland players, but Scotland doesn't have an Odegaard or a Haaland. But apparently Scott McTominay is the Haaland of Scotland, and he is scoring on a Haaland level for Scotland. And before the international break, he got 2 goals for us. Or we
Yeah.
or they would have been naming our new coach by now for Man United by the end of this international break.
Yeah, McTominay got confused in that Brentford game. He thought he was playing for Scotland.
Yeah, yeah. That's what that's what that's what that's not Ragnar. That's what Ten Hag whispered to him before the game. This is an international game. I want you to approach this.
Yeah, you
And
need you need to start you need to start wearing like Scotland colours, wearing that dark blue
I'm
in your
down.
games. McTominay just hitting hat tricks.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's go. Put that big boy forward. You know. Uh, are there any like interesting international games besides the England versus Italy coming up? Like
Um,
qualified clinchers?
let's have a look at the games because some of them played tonight,
Right.
so they're already done. Um, I mean, there's Serbia and Montenegro tomorrow, which is that'll be
Not really
spicy just
interested
because it's because
because
they're
they normally they normally
they
fight their wars.
well they were the same
Yeah.
they were the same country for a bit. Let's have a look on here. Who else is in the mix? I mean, there's not that many other big games. There's not that many games, and most of them are pretty mid. Like Denmark are playing San Marino, they'll smash them. Finland are playing Kazakhstan. Malta are playing Ukraine. Lithuania, Hungary. Northern
Hmm.
Ireland, Slovenia. There's not really much going on.
Right. So England's the big watch tomorrow versus Italy.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then let's talk about Manchester United sale, and then we can get into
Mhm.
like uh like the games for the weekend coming up. So I
Mhm.
don't know. So the Sheikh pulls out, and from these are the deal points. This doesn't make any sense. So he pulls out. Fabrizio Romano says he was offering like 6.5 bill ish for the
Mm.
team, right? So that's
Full buyout,
that
clear the debt, everything.
get full buyout, clear the debt, plus put another one, drop another 1.5 like on like players and like a new facility, right?
Mm.
The Glazers like, nah, right? But they're about to accept another bid for 25% from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 1.5, I think, for 25% of the team. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm terrible at math, and I'm even worse at billions. But if you get a 25% of the team for 1.5, right? Right? How much does the other 75% of the team cost based on that 1.5? Like, so 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3 billion. Plus 1.5 is 4.5 billion. Plus 1.5 is 5.5 billion. So you sold the team for less. You still have the debt, and the other people still need to build the stadium. So why are you selling the team for less?
I think it's because it's not a controlling stake. Like the other, I think the total price previously was because it's you're also paying for the privilege of full ownership. I don't know, but I'm not running that sale, so
But
um,
it doesn't financially make sense, because if it's 1.5 for 25%, then the other 25% would be 3 billion. The other 25% would be 4.5 billion. Like, is it going to cost more each? Because are they saying that each 25%
it's
costs more than the last
it's only it's only 0.5 bill
25%?
short
That's
because
but so then why did you 0.5 bill short? But it's not just a 0.5 bill short. They give another 0.5 just to Manchester United to just like invest. Plus, you owe the, the current owners, you owe a billion. So they're going to clear that billion off. So it's more. Forget the 0.5 they're going to give to Man United. Forget that. You have a billion in debt. We're going to pay off that debt. So we clear your debt. Your credit goes up, or whatever. When you're in that financial level, is credit going up. So they save you $1 billion in loans. So it's 1.5 more than Sir Jim is giving you. So I don't understand this. Not only that, so he's supposed to be in charge of running the football operations, like hiring a sporting director and like deciding like who's going to be the coach and who we going to buy, which might mean he has to pay for them. Now, here's the crazy thing. Like, if you're Sir Jim Ratcliffe, right? The worse Manchester United does from now on, if that deal goes through, the better it is for you. Because the worse they do, the less they're worth, the less you have to pay for the rest of the team. If you improve them dramatically, this incremental ownership thing you're doing, you're going to have to pay more. So this is just a complete confusing thing. Like, what's your incentive to do good once you get in there? If the team is going to cost you more if they do well, wouldn't you just tank it?
I mean, there's the prestige of being part of a successful top level sporting team. I think and the fact that he's a fan as well. Um,
I think he's a
that's
businessman. He's a businessman fan.
Businessmen do stupid things when they're in charge of football clubs, though.
True, true.
Like so many, there was a quote. I can't remember who said it. It was a while back, but it just said, if you're wealthy and you want to like throw that money away, buy a football club. It's not a good way to make money. Like if
Right,
you want to make money, there's way better investments in the finance world than buying a football club.
right.
If you're going to get a return, it's going to be slow. If you are even going to get a return, um, and if you try and focus too much on the returns, then you're going to piss people off, and you're going to put that club into decline, which is what the Glazers have done. They've tried to take profit out of United, and they've done that, but they've also, it's been noticeable.
Right. It wouldn't have been bad if they'd have ran it right. They spent enough money
Mm,
to run
yeah.
it right, so they could have made even more money. They, they've actually made $1 billion profit out of running a
Mm,
business wrong.
yeah.
You know.
But they've also neglected some other things as well. Like, there was,
Hmm.
I mean, obviously some of the stuff Ronaldo said in his old interview was a bit, um, a bit out of pocket, but the stuff he was saying about, the training ground hasn't been redeveloped and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And Old Trafford, I've been to Old Trafford, and it is like, it's got an aura, like it's big and it's got an aura to it. You can feel the history there, but also like it's shitty. Like the place is old as shit. It needs a renovation. It needs, a facelift. It needs modernizing. It's still
uh,
built for people in, I don't know, 1920, when they were shorter or something. Because every time I've been there, my knees are like scraping against the seat in front of me. It's not. I need them big wide.
It's all coach seating.
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, I need those big wide Emirates seats. For when I go to Arsenal. They're a lot better there, but it's yeah, you can just tell it's old when you're there. Like I say, it's still, like I say, it's still got an aura. If you go watch a game at Old Trafford, like you feel it, like when you walk
Okay.
out into that stadium and it's there in front of you, like it's a sight. But it needs something, because it's a horrible experience as a fan to go there and watch a game.
Oh, damn. So it's crazy that Old Trafford has earned the old part of the title. Like it's
Yeah.
old. They should call it Old Trafford now. That's how old it and like how much fixing it needs.
Need to build a
Uh,
new Trafford.
need to be a new Trafford. Hilarious. Uh, we need a new Old Trafford. That's what we need. Let's. So, what do you think of like? Give me three headline games coming up this weekend, and give them to me in a sense like there's going to be the marquee game,
Hmm.
but like also who needs to win, no matter who they're playing. So
Oof.
that's a very pointed question because I'm talking about Manchester United versus Sheffield. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying? Like it's a big game
yeah,
because, and then it's a big game because that Sheffield haven't won anything, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're struggling.
And they're struggling. The coach's head is on the chopping block. They haven't spent any money, but something's got to give. So they're either, we don't want to be the team that they finally get points off or they get their first win off. And we want
Yeah.
to continue their losing streak so that we can start a winning streak. Like you said earlier that we have a what? Man United?
What was that? Sorry.
You said earlier that Man United has a what streak?
Oh, one game win streak.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, so
you're
you
on
said
that
we
one
got a
game win
one.
streak.
Yeah. So we want to make that two, and our fans want to make that two. So this is the perfect road game for us. Like our last
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 games are at home, and if you're going to go on the road, it needs to be against like a weak team. Like it's almost like we're at home, and because we need to play a weak team to drain their blood and strengthen our veins. So
yeah.
this is perfect for us.
But I mean, you kind of have to win this game because like the Brentford win, it took a little bit of the pressure off just before the international break. Because I think if you'd lost that game, like people would have been, people were losing their shit during the game when you went a goal down, based on the run of results before that game.
I'm one
But
of
that
those
win,
people.
yeah, that win it takes a little bit of the pressure off. But if you fuck up against Sheffield United, that pressure is immediately back to where it was. No one gives a fuck about the Brentford game. That pressure is straight back on. Ten Hag is sweating if you lose this game. So, um, like I said, the win doesn't even really lift the mood that much. It just stops the pressure from being as intense for a little bit longer. So yeah, just a win there might calm people down, a little bit. Um, so yeah, it's kind of a game you have to win because if you don't, it's one of those ones where it's a disaster if you don't win this game.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I should see like how many injuries we got, but we won't know like who's available until the press conference the day, like on Friday.
Mm.
So it's tough to
You
figure
be,
out now.
you better be hoping Rashford doesn't start for England against Italy, then bench him. You don't want any United players in that team.
I mean, I don't know. Rashford hasn't been playing great, just period. So I'm just waiting for him to turn on and realize the season started and he needs to
Yeah,
get to it. So yeah, he's actually been playing better recently, but nobody, everybody's just so pre-pissed. They're not willing to accept
yeah,
it unless he puts the ball in the back of the net. But I've seen him giving some pinpoint assists to Hoyland, which Hoyland didn't put away. And then
yeah,
United fans are so spoiled; they'll ignore if you do anything good if we lose the game or draw the game. Like
yeah,
draws are fought for. Somebody has to play good during a draw. You know what I mean? Like I've seen like player ratings from teams. Like say we beat a team 1-0, and they do a player rating, and they'll name all the defenders. So we won 1-0. They'll be like, how about the right back? I'll give him a 5. This is all out of 10. How about the left back? Uh, uh, 5.5. How about the two the two central defenders? 6-5. And it's like, hey man, even if it was a tie 0-0, the defense is a 10 because a defender's job is to stop goals from going in. So how are you ranking the defense based on how the offense did?
mm.
Those are two different areas of the pitch. Like if we win 6-0, right? The defense doesn't all of a sudden get nines all across the defense. You know what I mean? Because it's the
Mm.
same nothing that they achieve. It's the same clean sheet they achieved when we tied 0-0. So player ratings are just so emotional. But
Yeah.
I don't even know why I said that. But I just hope we win this game. Yeah,
You
and
just
I
wanted
hope
to
we get
bring up
some
your
players
beef with
back.
player ratings.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Yeah, honestly,
It
that's what.
is very arbitrary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll
But
make sense.
yeah. So yeah, other than that though, like the games that stand out to me, Chelsea Arsenal, just because it's a London derby. Chelsea are
Mm-hmm.
back in form. Arsenal are
Mm-hmm.
now, on a high because they beat City. Um, so their fans are all like, "Oh, we passed the big test." But it's like, well, it's like we're saying with United beating Brentford, like, you're only really as good as your last game, and if you fuck up the next one, it means the one before that doesn't really mean as much. So, it's all
Right.
good and well going and beating Man City, but if Arsenal go and lose to Chelsea, it's like, well, you may have well have, not beaten City and beat Chelsea. It's the same amount of points. So,
Right.
but I think Arsenal, psychologically, it was huge beating City. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be interesting to see if they can carry that momentum into this game. They probably would have rather not had the break, um,
Mm-hmm.
so that they could just roll that momentum on from that game and that good feeling. Um, the nature of the win as well. Getting that goal late on. Um, they probably wanted the next game. They wanted to play Chelsea the next day after that game. Um, and just keep it going. But Chelsea, they're resurgent right now. They got players that could hurt Arsenal if they're not on it. Sterling can hurt them. He's in form right now. Jackson
Hmm.
took his goal well in the last game. Mudryk is starting to look a little bit like a player now, and he'll have a point to prove against Arsenal as well, because Arsenal fans all saying they dodged a bullet after they saw him playing for Chelsea, because he chose to go there instead of Arsenal. So yeah, there's players in that Chelsea team. Like it'll be a good game to watch, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, because that's like the early evening game, 5:30 p.m. here, kickoff. So that'll be a good one to watch. And I think like as a neutral though, the
Hmm.
game for me that I want to sit down and watch like fully is Man City Brighton.
Man City, Brighton. Yeah. Let me get a piece of this Chelsea game first, and then you could talk
Mm.
about Man City, Brighton.
Yeah.
The same way you're saying that Arsenal would love to play without a break against Chelsea right after they beat City. I
Mm.
feel like after Chelsea scored 4 goals and finally like opened the dam and figured out how to put the ball in the back of the net, they would want that too. Like, yeah, we just scored 4. Now we have confidence to score more. So give us a piece of that Arsenal right away. So both teams are like halted dead in their tracks at a good point.
Yeah.
Uh, where is this game being played at?
At Chelsea.
At Chelsea. So yeah, like Arsenal should beat Chelsea no matter where they play, but Chelsea's that team I'm always going to be worried about, because there's going to be a point in the season where they get their shit together and they're going to go on a run. And then even if they don't go on a run, there's just going to be those games where Pochettino can make them click like an old, really good Chelsea team that Abramovich used to
Yeah.
own. And the advantage that Arsenal has in this game is that uh, they're further along in their project, and Chelsea is definitely going to have glitches. So can Arsenal, who most of the time does what they got to do, if they can catch Chelsea during a glitch? And to be honest, even when Chelsea ain't glitching, Arsenal could still beat them. So this is like, because Chelsea just got so much learning to do, and they're so young, and they just don't have enough adults supervision with those kids that they got, that they just bought from out the ether to become Chelsea players. So we'll see what's up, but definitely a game I'm gonna love to watch this weekend. And then they're like, how are the Arsenal fans? Well, they're playing at Chelsea, so Pochettino won't have to deal a lot with like a whole stadium of Arsenal fans singing Spurs songs at him or just
Mm.
attacking him because he was a Spur coach, even though he'll probably still get some of that. And then yeah, it's London versus London, so we'll see what's up now. And I agree with you on this Brighton Hove Man City. Like De
Mm.
Zerbi, like he's the new Pep. Like like if somebody don't get De Zerbi before Pep leaves Man City's where he's going.
Yeah.
And so why do you like the idea of this game coming up?
Just because it's yeah, the styles, just the style of football. Like it's two teams who both want the ball and both want to try and play through a press and provoke another team into trying to come press them. And it'd be interesting to see, because like they're two managers who are fundamentalists as well, that like believe like wholeheartedly in their style of play, and they won't really change massively for anyone. They'll make adjustments. Be interesting to see in this one if De Zerbi does alter it, completely, or if they're just going to still try and play through that City press. Because he's gotten to a point now where the players trust that system, and it's what they know. So there's teams who have had a style of play and then they change it up for one game and then end up regretting it because they've sort of betrayed their what they've been working on all season. So I would love to see Brighton try and pop it out from the back against City and see if they can draw in that press and play past them, because that'll be incredible if they can. And I don't think either team is going to be keeping a clean sheet in this game. I think there's going to be goals. I think Brighton, yeah, they'll get at least one in this game, and then it's up to City how many they score. But City as well, I think they're a little bit vulnerable this season, even though they still got quality players. Obviously, De Bruyne is not there. I think Rodri's back
I was going to
for
ask
this
you
game.
if he's still suspended.
Let me just have a quick double check because I'm curious now. And see. Yeah, Rodri is back available. So that'll be big for them getting him back, especially for a game like this if he's starting. But some of the players that Pep's brought in are learning the system pretty quickly, like Doku as well.
Right.
He's great to watch, and he's a sort of player where if Brighton try and go and press Man City, he'll be popping up in those spaces in behind. So yeah, it's. I mean, like again, interesting to see what sort of side Pep goes with, because he is blessed with options in those wide positions now, with Grealish and Foden and Doku. So it's two out of those three you've got to start, and then the new combination this year with De Bruyne being injured now, he's playing Alvarez sort of behind Haaland. So there's going to be a lot of problems for Brighton to try and deal with, but they've got the confidence and the coaching to take that on. So just going to be a really fun one to sit down, watch, and just hopefully see two teams have a go at each other and both try and win that game.
Right. I was looking at my phone while you were talking because I just wanted to check something. So Brighton has given up a lot of goals. They've given up 8 goals in their last 2 matches. And against Liverpool, and I should even go back further, against Liverpool, they gave up 2, but they gave up 2, like they gave up at least one of those 2, or maybe 2 of those 2, trying to bring the ball up out the back, but definitely trying to bring the ball out the back. And then they gave up 6 versus Aston Villa. And we'd say that Man City is better than Aston Villa, even without Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne. So then that was 6-1. That was at Villa. But let me go back one more game. Oh, and against Bournemouth, they won, but the goal that they gave up against Bournemouth was bringing the ball out the back. And if one team can press you out, is Man City. So even though, one of the strengths of Brighton recently has killed them in the last 3 games, or has caused them injury. Like they bring the ball out the back has kind of hurt them. So it's interesting to see what De Zerbi is going to do about this. Like, listen, I get it. It's like you've sold some people, so the new people have to learn how you play before. And I don't want to change the system, so let's learn the hard way, because we're still going to have to learn the system anyway. So we might as well, the ends of the seasons justifies the means. So it depends on how much De Zerbi wants to win this game, if he'll change anything and say, just once in a while, just kick it long. But it's going to be interesting to see Brighton. And where is this game being played? Let me slide down.
It's at City.
It's at City. And then City just lost too to Arsenal.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to rectify shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's at City. So it's going to be an interesting game, but I just have a feeling And then Brighton's experiment with two goalkeepers. They don't even really have like a definite
Mm.
number one, and they both can play at the back. But I know one of them at least, if not the two of them, have made mistakes in games. I can't remember which one they started, if it was the
Ver
same one in those last three.
Verbruggen is the young Dutch goalkeeper they've got, and he's been the one making the mistakes. Steele
Mm-hmm.
is a bit more experienced,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they'll play Steele for this game. I don't think they'll trust Verbruggen in this game. But they're two sort of capable goalkeepers that can both be number ones. But Steele's got the more experience, and Verbruggen has been making a couple of mistakes recently with the playing out. So I think De
Mm-hmm.
Zerbi will probably want to not put him in the firing line and go with
Right.
the experience for this game, given the magnitude of it and the sort of pressure that Brighton are potentially going to be under.
Right. Yeah. I'm definitely one of the. I hope United is not playing at this time so I can check it out. So yeah, I'll have to watch that match just regardless. Period.
Yeah.
This weekend. Yeah. Yeah. So many. I say this every year, but then I have to keep on saying it even more. That the quality of the teams in the Premier League has improved so much that like teams that would normally can be considered fringe teams, like I don't like missing a Villa game. I don't like missing a Newcastle game. I don't like missing a Brighton game. I don't like missing a Brentford game. It's just teams are getting. I don't like missing a Fulham game. Like I'm almost praying for some teams to be bad so I could be like, all right, I don't have to check them out. But it's like I need some of my weekend to myself. And if the teams are good, then I'm just in the house in the living room all and no weekend, no dates, no nothing. You're just watching football. So yeah. So how's Southampton doing? Last game was a draw. Where you at in the table and who you
Yeah.
got?
Last game we dominated Rotherham, who were bottom of the league, but they clung on. Their keeper played like a world class game. That guy was
Oh shit.
throwing himself around, and then they hit us with one. We went 1-0 up, and then they just hit us with a sucker punch. So yeah, we drew that one, which was a bit disappointing because if we won, we'd be in
Mm-hmm.
seventh right now. No, we wouldn't. We'd be in sixth right now. We would have jumped over Birmingham. We'd be in
Mm-hmm.
sixth, but instead we're 10th. But it's all like really compact in that league. Like you win a game, you jump places.
Oh
It's
damn.
it's still like that. So we're 10th, and on Saturday we play Hull City, who are ninth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we're on the same amount of points as each other. Um, it'll be a tough game. They've got a solid squad. It's a good club, Hull. The last time we played Hull away in the Championship, I was there, and that was
Oh yeah.
maybe 10 fucking years ago.
Oh shit.
We had Gareth Bale playing for us that day. I think we played
Shit.
him in we played them in the Premier League in between now and then, but the last time we
Mm-hmm.
played them in the Championship, um, let me have a look exactly what year that was. But Gareth Bale scored a free kick for us that day. We
Mm-hmm.
won. It was the 2nd of December 2006, and I went to that game. We won 4-2, um, and yeah, Bale scored for us, and also former New York Red Bull legend Bradley Wright Phillips scored for us that game as well. Um,
I'm a big Bradley Wright
so,
Phillips fan.
yeah, I mean one of the best MLS strikers ever
Mm.
with his goal record. So yeah, we had Bale and Wright Phillips playing for us that day um, up at Hull, and yeah, I piled in a car with a couple of friends who support Southampton as well. We drove all the way up there. It's like 4 hours. Um, we drove up there to watch that game, and yeah, Bale. Gareth Bale was like 18 years old then as well.
Damn.
That was mad. He was just like a fresh faced teenager playing left back um, for us back then. So
That's crazy. And he
yeah,
became one of the best forwards in the world.
yeah, yeah, winning Champions Leagues and multiple
Uh-huh.
Champions Leagues. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, we went up there, and that was 2006. That I just feel old right now. Um, that's what that's doing to me. But yeah, hopefully I'll take another 4-2 again. I mean, we're shipping goals right now. We've only kept one clean sheet all season, so
Uh-huh.
um, I can't imagine we'll be keeping that many this season. In 11 games, we've kept one clean sheet. No. Yeah, just one. Yeah, one clean sheet in 11 games. So who knows?
Hmm.
Another 4-2 could be on the cards if we hook it up. But like I said, they're one place above us, joint on points. So they ain't going to be pushovers. So we'll see what we can get.
Good luck, Southampton. I'm rooting for y'all. I don't want y'all to slide down the table. Can't be
Me
losing
neither.
y'all. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
how long you had these owners?
This would be this. This would be the second full season. They came in sort of partway, sort of back end of the season before last, and then obviously they had the whole season with relegation,
Hmm.
and then this is their second full season. So
But they're not like the owners that were there before are still kind of there. These owners are not like full owners, or they are.
yeah, yeah, they're full owners because it was a Chinese guy,
Hmm.
Zhao. I can't remember his surname now, but he sold up completely to the group called Sport Republic, where it's a Serbian billionaire putting the money in, and then it's a
Hmm.
couple of Danish guys, Kraft and Rasmussen, um, who are like the sort of sporting director and chairman. They're the like running the day-to-day operations kind of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, they're the group that are in. But um, yeah, people are being patient with them to a certain degree. We just need to try and get out of this division and quick because the longer you stay in the championship, the harder it is to get out of it because it's an ultra competitive league, which we're finding out this year. Um, so it's a tough one. You know, Leicester look like they're doing what Burnley did last year, where they're like, we're only down here for one season. They ain't messing around. Um, whereas I do worry that I think Leicester have shown that they've got enough quality to just go on and win the league comfortably, like Burnley did last year. So
Oh,
then
word?
it's a scrap. Yeah, it's a scrap after that to see who can get second. Ipswich are there currently; they're playing really well, but I think they'll drop off a little bit. So I think it's a free for all for playoffs and second. So we just need to hope that we're in the mix for that free for all, and we can hope it lands on the right side for us.
Come on, Southampton. Yeah, hopefully y'all can like have an uptick. I feel like you have a new coach. There's a lot of upheaval at the beginning of the season, and there's
Yeah,
a point where you'll settle down, and then should be able to kick on. And then who knows what type of new upheaval the transfer window in January will bring, because that shakes things up again. The whole
yeah,
league. So but hopefully you'll be have it be so settled. The only thing you change is like buying something to add to the team as opposed to trying to sell something again. Y'all
yeah.
need to like keep and maybe buy something that's gonna like take you to the next level and kick on. You know what I mean?
It's quite interesting. The Argentinian kid Alcaraz, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He signed a new contract just before the break. He'd been playing well. Just before the international break, he signed a contract and he got called up by the full Argentina squad.
Oh,
So he's
word?
been he's been balling out with Messi this week.
Oh, shit.
So it's going to be a bit of a shock to him when he comes back to trying to play with Shea Adams again.
Who's been starting him or Shea? I feel like he's been coming off the bench a lot.
Yeah. We've been playing Alcaraz as like a false nine,
Mm-hmm.
with Kamaldeen Sulemana and Adam Armstrong out wide, but both of them like to sort of because Alcaraz, well, he's that false nine, so he'll drop in deeper, and then
Mm-hmm.
Armstrong will come in from the wing, or Sulemana will come in from the wing and take that space, and that worked out. We played that against Leeds, and we ran riot in that game. Um, so yeah, we started Adams against Rotherham though.
Mm-hmm.
um, he got an assist to be fair for the goal, so
Hmm.
He did okay, but I mean, he's a striker. It's his job to score goals, and he was on a hot streak earlier on in the season, but
Yeah,
then
it was.
there was a bunch of transfer speculation, and it seemed to mess with his head a bit because he after the transfer window closed and he didn't get the move, he stopped scoring. um,
But they also
so
stopped starting him, kind of.
no, he was playing for a lot of those games. It
Okay.
was then that we took him out the team a couple of times, like, but he's been playing a lot of those games that we lost, which was yeah, not ideal. But Adam Armstrong's up there with the top scorers in the league, so he's relishing this level. It's his level. We said that
Hmm.
before, and it's true. Um, so it's yeah, he's loving life. But if we can get back on track with a win, puts us in a good position.
Yeah, don't do anything dumb and sell him in January. Like that, I'd be devastated. I'm not even a Southampton fan. I'd be like, what would you do that for? What do you think? You're using the championship as the Premier League and just sell your best players? Oh, let's just sell down here. Yeah, yeah. So keep them. All right. Well, you got anything you want to plug?
No, just check out the socials, Lee Hudson Comedy on Instagram. There's always links to my shows. I'm all over the country. Going to try and get some more international stuff sorted out soon as well because I enjoyed my little Amsterdam trip. I've done a few other places around Europe as well, so I'll get back out there soon. Try and tie it up with some more football as well if I can. Um, but yeah, all the stuff on the socials, posting the occasional clip on there as well. When I can be bothered to sit and edit videos.
Right.
So yeah, there's some stuff on there. But yeah, all my show details go up on there as well. And I'm always posting stories if I'm at a Southampton game or another random game. So yeah, that's all I got on right now.
Oh, dope. That's perfect. I'm at Ian Edwards Comic on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. And I'm at Elton's Dueling Pianos this Wednesday, October 18th in El Paso. And then the weekend after that, I'm at Boxcar Comedy in Utah, October 27th to the 28th. So yeah, those are pretty much yeah the gigs and the local stuff. Just like I said, yeah, Ian Edwards comic. We all thank you for listening. We understand there's a lot of turmoil and upheaval in the world going on, but let's just do our job. People are out there doing that. Let's do our job to spread the love to balance that out. I know people are already doing it, so just keep doing it if you're doing it. And if you're not doing it, then just think about doing it. We love you. Stay good, and we'll check you out next week. Thanks, Lee, for killing it again on the pod. And we'll see y'all. One.